I'm so glad to be here today because actually this place itself is very auspicious for me. I mean, I'll tell you why. Because one of my moment of clarity happened here, in this place, in this hotel. We were on the -1 floor, and we were having a coaching session, and a question was asked, who are you? And we had 20 people in the room, very experienced, all confused. Me too. And from there this journey started of mine, of this confusion and then leading to clarity. So when I think the topic today is of moving from confusion to clarity, let me just tell you that confusion is not opposite of clarity. Okay? Confusion is the first step to clarity. Okay. The main thing, I'll explain why, and you'll hear this word a lot: confusion, clarity, confusion, clarity. But let me just make it very clear. Confusion is the first step to clarity, and that happened here with me more than a year back. Okay. So anyway, so my introduction, she's already done. I'm a business clarity coach, and I coach CEOs, business owners to get clarity on what they really want. So the question what I'll be talking to you is very simple, is what do you want? Right? What do you really want? And if this question is asked to many people, it leads to a lot of confusion. And this is a question which you asked your children, and if I ask some business owner, they get confused again. So in coaching world, this is a very important question: what do you really want? Okay, and that's how what I work with the CEOs and the business owners. But my background has been the software industry, and I got this lot of clarity in my life through different moments, and I'll explain what these things are. And if you're confused what I'm talking about, it's okay, because that's, I said, is the starting of getting to clarity. Okay, so I got clarity of who am I. I got clarity of, sorry? Yeah. So I got clarity of who am I got clarity of what is the purpose of my life. You said here, what is the purpose of being here? But then another part is, what is your life purpose, right? So going through that journey of what is my life purpose, and also what I have learned from life, right? That I could figure it out. And then also was, what do I want to become? That's a very important question. What do I want to become? And that led me to leave my corporate job and become a coach. So and I say at age of 50, I figured out what I love to do, and that was coaching. So and that is a part of clarity which happened, and when it happens, it's so beautiful. Okay, so what I'll be talking today is about what is clarity, because that's a very simple question, and everybody has different definitions and understanding. And the other is what is moments of clarity. And then I'll have some exercise which you can do offline, which will help you get to some level of this confusion I told you, right? That if you're confused and you know what you're confused about, it's the first step to clarity. Okay. So the question for the audience here is, what do you think, what does clarity mean? What is the meaning of clarity? Anybody?
Clarity is
being sure about,
yeah, just one by one.
being sure about something.
Being sure about something. Okay.
Clarity is something like transparency.
Very nice. Anybody else?
Direction. Direction you are moving. You are clear about the direction you are moving.
Okay.
Be clear about your goals so that you know which path to take.
Okay.
Clarity is a series of events happens from your thoughts to observations to leads to your final goal.
Okay.
Clarity also can be a like kind of a mirror image in front of you. Like.
Okay. Let me just few other right things, but not exactly. So let me, and I did a bit of research on figuring out what exactly is the meaning of clarity, right? So I'll give an example. Let's say if all lights are switched off, right? And I'm standing here, I don't see anything, right? I'll not be able to speak. I will be able to speak, but I will not know what I'm doing. Right? I'll be totally lost. When the light comes up, I get clarity. I can see you. I can see the response. I can see people. Right? So what I say is, so light has given a clarity to me to see all of you. Right? So clarity, one definition of clarity is to see things as it is. Okay. So even when the light was off, you would be still sitting, the chair will be here, table will be here, but I will not be able to see it. But as soon as the light comes up, I can see it as it is. It's not any judgment, it is to see things as it is, right? And let's say another example is like an owl, ulu, right? For an owl, darkness gives them clarity, because he can see when it's dark. So darkness gives clarity. And then other things start happening. Then you start focusing, then you make the goals, then you talk, then some action starts. But first thing is to see things as it is, right? So this is one definition of clarity. The other definition of clarity is, another example I'll tell you is, let's say we have here a pond of water and it's muddy. It's all mud. You can't see it. You can't see it clearly. So if I have to clean this water, what I have to do?
Filter it.
Okay, what else?
Put more mud in it.
Put more?
Mud in it.
Okay.
I won't be able to see it.
So what else can be done?
To clean the water.
To clean the water, it is muddy, it's all mud there. It's floating, the mud is all floating there. You can't see it clearly. How do you clean the water?
I'd wait for some sedimentation to take place.
So that's a thing which happens, right? You do nothing. Right? You let the mud settle and water will become clear. Why? Why water will become clear? Is because the natural state of water is to be clear. It's its natural state. That's why it's become clear, right? And it performs the best. Water performs the best when it is in the natural state, correct? Same way, clarity is the natural state of mind. Clarity is the natural state of mind. It is in us already. It was with us, but all of our contaminated thoughts make it, we can't see it. We don't get clarity there. So these are the contaminated thoughts, which is the mud in our mind, which is stopping us to get clarity. Once you let that settle down, things will fall in place.
It could take years to let it.
Yeah, so it. Yeah, but that's the easiest or best way to do it. And I'll give an example. Is if there's a speaker, confused speaker who was to come on the stage and talk, and you ask the person just 5 minutes before, कि आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? He will be so confused. He'll be like, मेरे पता नहीं लोग क्या सोचेंगे, क्या बोलेंगे, will I forget some content? They will talk about that. If a confident speaker is about to go on the stage and ask that person 2 minutes before going on stage, आपके दिमाग में क्या चल रहा है? He will say nothing, because he is so clear, right? उसके दिमाग में कुछ नहीं चल रहा है. When Virat Kohli is playing at 125 and you ask him, no, अब ball आने वाली है, are you thinking of something? He'll say nothing. He's blank, because he's playing with his natural state, right? So clarity is a natural state of mind. So it's not something you have to look out for. It is something which is in you already. And these contaminated thoughts are which is stopping us, right? Yeah.
Yes, I have a question. Does overthinking is mud?
Could be. I said contaminated thoughts, right? So you have to figure out, is it a contaminated thought or not, and I'll explain. We'll do a few things on that. Okay, but these are contaminated thoughts which stops us to get clarity, because things just like peace, resilience, right? That is natural state of mind. Same way, clarity is also natural state. It's as if the phone, when it was manufactured, it was built with a natural state, right? It performs the best when you don't change any of your settings. As soon as you start changing settings, download many things, it slows down, and then you have a reset button, right? Go back to the factory setting, because it will perform the best, right? That is why it is, because it was manufactured with a particular intent, and we have changed it. So that's what tends to happen, right?
Can we say that young children have the most effective clarity?
Exactly. So as I said, we were born with it. Our learning and knowledge and thoughts which have come up, beliefs which have come up from external world, that kind of distracts us to and we lose that clarity. And that's where I mentioned is, at times you'll get these moments of clarity, right? have you seen that? Maybe with some people may have happened. आप बैठे हो, something strikes for a few seconds, and you say, "अरे ये तो मैंने सोचा क्यों नहीं?" And that may be happening when you are in a washroom or having a bath, like a eureka moment, Archimedes, right? It was a moment of clarity which happened for a few seconds, and it changed the world, right?
And when it really happens, what should we do?
Yeah. So, yeah.
And then we'll have a Q&A round for minutes.
Yeah. So it's like Newton, right? He got that when apple dropped. That was a moment of clarity. कुछ तो है, कुछ confusion आ गया, right? And then he started working on it. So let me explain. These are the moments of clarity that you get at odd time, unknowingly, but those are so beautiful moments which you give you peace and you get that eureka moment, right? But it is not the end. So moment of clarity, like Newton, when he got that moment of clarity, it took him few years to make his law, right? He worked on it. It's not the end. So like you're saying, if you get a moment of clarity, keep it, right? Try to remember it, try to work on it, right? Do something about it. Maybe drop it. Maybe it is not a moment of clarity, but those are moments which are so precious. And when it happens in a day, at least when I get it, that smile comes up. अरे यार ये तो मैंने सोचा क्यों नहीं?
Sometimes it happens in dreams also.
Yeah, it can happen anytime. It is only to remember that and take it forward there, right? So this is what is the I'm saying is the moments of clarity that you get, right? And let me just go to the next part is of a bit of an exercise for you to look at is you can do it offline maybe after the meeting, is to get it more practical. Basically is identify the most important thing that is not clear to you. Not clear to you, right? Identify one thing which you are not clear about. The most important thing in your life or business which you are not clear about. And to find this question is the most important. To draft this question, what you're not clear about is the most important part anyways, because the way what you draft is going to be start of getting into clarity, right? And when you are looking at this question, what most important thing that you're not clear about, and I give examples. For example, I want to grow my business, but I don't know how to grow my business. Then you can ask your question again to yourself, saying what is not clear to me to grow my business. Right? You may say, okay, I want to grow my business, but I do not know, I need investment. So I don't know who to go to get investment. So that's, I'm not clear about whom to go to get investment. And then you may answer yourself, I know, ये तो network से मिल जाएगा, investors से मिल जाएंगे. But I think I'm not clear about when I go to investor, what should I pitch? मैं उसको बोलूँगा क्या? What is my USP? And whether this USP is going to get attention from the investor. I'm not clear about that. So he's looking for the USP which investor would be interested in. So I'm not clear about that piece. So go deeper like these questions 5 times and you'll get a question which has to be how, why, what, something. And that is so important. And after that somebody said levels like transparency levels or something. So after you've done this exercise of identifying the most important question that you're not clear about, right, rate it from 1 to 10. 10 is crystal clear, 1 is not at all clear, it's total confusion. Got it? So this is an exercise for you to do and rate it. It has to be from ideally 1 to 5 because 10 पे तो होना नहीं चाहिए. If you are putting this question in, it should not be above 5. But that's the starting point to identify the most important thing that you are not clear about. Right? And I'll tell you some examples which I worked with people. So for example, I was working with a business owner and he said he was not clear about the definition of growth. Like 10x we are talking about, no? So he's saying he was not clear about definition of growth. He thought that growth meant he's running a business. He could add 3 more businesses because others are doing it. So he said, no, I'll start 3 new businesses. But when he got, that was a confusion which he was going through, and after the clarity came, he figured out, "Arey nahi yaar, ye to I can do the same thing in my business also. I don't have to open 3 new business to grow." So that clarity came on the definition of growth to him, which changed his whole, the model to go forward. Right. Another one was this guy was saying, "I am not clear where my time is going. मेरा समय कहाँ जा रहा है मेरे को पता नहीं चल रहा. I'm like running on a treadmill, भाग तो रहा हूँ but आगे नहीं बढ़ रहा हूँ." Right? ट्रेडमिल पे खड़े हैं, भागे जा रहे हैं, तेज तेज भागे जा रहे हैं, पर हैं वहीं के वहीं. So that's so he was struggling with the time, where the time actually is going, and when the clarity came where he is actually spending time, he could take care of things. Or it could be there was another guy who was saying, "I am not able to grow the business because there is a conflict with the partner. So how do I handle this friend of mine who is a partner who is stopping me to grow?" Right? Once that clarity came, how to handle it, then move up. Then acceleration happened, then 10x start happening, and all that starts happening. Or another one was, basically this guy was running a foundation, non-profit organization, and he was doing multiple initiatives in his own business, but he was lost. Right? He said, "अमित, मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा मैं कर क्या रहा हूँ, बहुत कुछ कर रहा हूँ, पर जा कहाँ रहा हूँ?" So his life purpose not clear. Once that clarity came of life purpose, now he could all align all the initiatives in one direction, and he could reject, select, do all that part. That clarity came. Right? So these are some of the examples of where people struggle with clarity, and once it happens, then they run. Because आपको अगर ये पता है कि यहाँ से आपको चंडीगढ़ जाना है, right? Then you know how to reach there. But आपको चंडीगढ़ जाना है, जयपुर जाना है या आगरा जाना है, यही नहीं पता, then you're lost. Right? So it is that piece which is important, to identify the most important thing that you are not clear about and start from there, and to get to solve it. Once you get a question identified, then do what? Right? How do you find clarity then? Right? So the option, I have 3 options which you can use, very simple ones. One is, you laugh when I tell you, one is which I also mentioned earlier, do nothing. Right? Do nothing is doesn't mean that nothing gets created. Do nothing means is awareness. Right? It's like mirage. आपको पता है, अगर पता नहीं है कि it's a mirage, when you're driving the car, you will stop. But once you know it's a mirage, you will do nothing. You will just go smoothly. So its awareness will happen. Sometimes while going through this exercise, it will happen. ये तो सब पता है, मैं वैसे क्यों सोचे जा रहा हूँ. It is actually contaminated thoughts. I know my USP. I know what to sell. मेरे को सब पता है, मैं वैसे क्यों फंसा हूँ. So that gets solved. Right? That's one option to do, is to do nothing. Second is do something. Do something what is like a me time, like we did a bit of meditation or something. Maybe for half an hour, sit, write the question and think over it for half an hour. And whatever comes to your mind, just write and put the to-do list, what will come out. Something will come out because you're thinking of a particular problem for half an hour. Right? Or you can find a mentor or somebody who's close to you who can help you find this. Because the part is, if you're confused and you know what you're confused about and you're looking for clarity, I'm sure, like ma'am said, that no, you're wearing the specs, right? You are looking at from a particular angle. So if you're looking for an angle that you are looking for clarity, you will get it for sure. But आपको यही नहीं पता आप confused किस में हो, then you can't do anything. Right? So go to a mentor or somebody you know who can help you out and get clarity on that part. And third thing is, if you're lost still, come to me. I'm a clarity coach. So go to my website, it's amitchavla.coach, and book a session. It's a complimentary session anytime, and I'll be able to help anytime it's required. Right? So that's what I wanted to share with you on a bit about clarity and confusion, and how confusion can lead to clarity. So if you're confused on something still, it's a good. Right? And if you're clear, it's very good.